Speaking of purple-headed weirdos, I was in Portland, Oregon recently too, and Portland's interesting for a whole other reason. I feel like Portland is kind of a snapshot of the way the far right looks at the far left in general in this country. And it's an interesting combination of stereotypes that they hold for these people. Like, everybody in my hometown thinks Portland is just a bunch of emaciated baristas with a handlebar mustache, you know. And I tell them it's ridiculous. Portland's a vast metropolis made up of an eclectic array of all different types of mustaches. Like, it's not just handlebar, but they both think it's like hipster Portlandia shit, but also that it's Fallujah for socialists, you know? Like, that's where the most hardcore Antifa super commandos are garrisoned at, right? And that's a weird combination of stereotypes to hold for the same people. It's like they think everybody in Portland is getting dressed up as a Victorian-era haberdasher, right? To go set City Hall on fire. And then they make fun of them for that. That's a point of ridicule. And I'm like, dude, I don't know about you, but I feel like if I was in the middle of a full-scale riot and all of a sudden a chimney sweep-looking sumbitch emerged from the smoke bomb haze on top of one of them big front-wheel bicycles, like, I wouldn't fuck with that guy. That's how you get choked out with a pocket watch chain.
You ever seen those two guys at the movie theater that leave that empty space in between them? It's for one of their dads that never made it to a game. Hold on. A lot of you are laughing, but I can see some of you like, covering your face. Hey, I would never tell someone how to react to comedy because it is subjective, but I would just recommend not wasting any empathy on these two losers at the theater. What do you need an empty space in between you for? You've been best friends since the 4th grade, and you think tonight, at the new Keanu movie, that your clothed arm is gonna touch his clothed arm, and you're just gonna have to butt fuck? Really? Is that right? Is that what's happening? I don't believe you. You're gonna reach for the pop at the same time, and your hairy knuckles are gonna touch? And that's the spark you've been missing? You're just like, oh, it sends shivers up my spine.
If there's an important document, I don't have it. I'm a constant disappointment to the DMV. Sir, do you have your social security card? I haven't seen that in 30 years. Sir, it's an important document. Well, then you guys shouldn't have printed it on a gum wrapper, okay? At least the passport people made a book out of their thing. It's got pages and a cover, and yes, I lost that one too, but I shouldn't have. Sir, do you have your birth certificate? My birth certificate? That document is 54 years old. I also don't have the Declaration of Independence.
We've been together almost 7 years, and I've only farted in front of her once. It's like three months ago. Didn't even know it was coming. I'm 41. I feel like I'm still in the pocket where, like, you should know when you got one coming, but I had no idea. That sucks. I just was like trying to run out the door, and I just tripped, and I was like, ah! And I screamed really loud. You know, sometimes you either scream, ah, ah, or you try to cough over the fart. I don't know what asshole introduced those moves, by the way. Some dude went up to all the dudes and was like, yeah, dude, if you gotta let one rip, you fuck it. And then you fuck it. She don't know. It's like, hey, dum-dum, the two sounds don't cancel each other out. They just highlight each other even more. And girls don't even know how to cover farts up because you don't feel them coming. You know, pregnancy cramps, those are familiar feelings. Farts come and go like ships in the night. I have a lot of genuine empathy when I see or hear a girl let one slip. It's traumatizing, man. You girls get so just like, you just don't like, I've seen girls fart and move out of the country and start new lives because they're so ashamed. They're just like, oh my God, that wasn't me. We have to leave tonight. Grab the kids, we'll move to Chile. I'll become a baker.
I simply grew up with a different type of parent. The parent that doesn't give a fuck. A fuck. About the opinion of the strangers around them. Which is probably also why they had kids in the first place, too. Let's just be honest. But they also don't want those strangers to call the cops. So in public, it's a far harder parent to spot. They don't make a negotiation scene. They don't do a countdown. When the kid starts being a dickhead in public, they give them a few seconds to pull out of it, save their own skin, and if they don't, they just get drug off. Listen to me right fucking now. If you do not shut the fuck up this fucking second, I promise you, the second we get home, I will break your goddamn neck in front of your fucking toys. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? I will line them up. You will say goodbye to each one individually. Yeah. And they will watch the life leave your fucking face. Oh, that's funny? Oh, that's funny? That's fun. You know what else is funny? I wished for it to be a miscarriage. I did. I flipped a coin into a fountain. No, you have something to say now? No, say it. Say it, I'm listening, say it. No, say it, I'm listening. Exactly. Act tough, then back down. Just like your father.
When you're with a woman who's successful, turns you into a real feminist. I'm serious. Like, we got to get rid of that pay gap. These women got to get paid more. Because I'm going to take a lot of that money on the back end. Dude, it makes me sick to my stomach that my wife makes 70% of what a man makes. 15 of that 30% belongs in my pocket. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, let's treat these bitches right for the sake of their loser husbands.
One time, me and my girl were watching the news. There was a whole thing about a CEO harassing his employees. She's like, can you believe this creep? Grabbing women's asses, whispering dirty stuff in their ear at work. I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Then we got home later in the bedroom. She's like, can you do that stuff from the news to me? I was like, I thought you hated that. She's like, I hate it. He does it. If you do it, it's hot. Huh. So you hate harassment unless you like the guy, then it turns you on. That's fascinating. I don't think other groups like black guys get harassed by the cops, but at night they're not like, come on, pull me over. Yeah, tase me, bitch. Yeah.
Can I just throw this out there? I really do think I'm on something here. The term America. Let's talk about it. If you don't know, the term America is supposed to mean having pride in country. Is it just me, or is it any time I see somebody go, America, they then do something I'm not proud of as an American? You ever notice that? Every time, they're like trying to jet ski through a hurricane or some shit. Or they're like trying to jump over a campfire, but they trip into it. Every time somebody goes, America, you know what I think they mean to say? I'm Johnny Knoxville, and this is Jackass. Every time. Every time somebody goes, America, I'm like, oh, he's about to get hit in the balls or some shit, man. I got a theory, and listen, I think this joke would work better if there were more black people in the room, but let's see what the fuck happens. I just want to be honest about that. I think the term America is to white people what the term world star is to black people. I think it means the exact same thing. I think if any of us hear somebody shout either of those words out, we all think the same thing. We just go, get your camera phone out. About to make a memory. I think it's so weird to shout America. And I'm not saying I have a lack of pride in this country. I love this country. But I do think that is an objectively stupid thing to do. To go, America, I just think it's dumb. Do you think anybody in any other country does that? I don't. I think it's just us. I think we're fucking idiots. I really do. Do you think anybody else shotguns a beer, does a backflip, lands? Rwanda, do you think? Because I don't think so, man. You think anybody else shakes out their mullet, throws some shades on, and takes a 2x4 to the dong? Oh, Cambodia. I don't think so, man. This is all I'm saying. I'm not even saying stop saying it. I'm not even saying stop saying it. I'm just saying, can you pick a better time? What a fair compromise. No, just say it when it makes us look good. Stop saying it when it makes us look like some dumbasses. That's all I'm asking for. Say it when we win a gold medal, not when you butt chug a White Claw. How am I supposed to find pride in that moment? Who heard butt chug and felt patriotic? That's all I'm saying. Just pick a better time. I think that's such a fair compromise. Look, I don't know your love lives. I don't want to know. But next time any one of y'all get to have sex with somebody who's from another country, the second you make them come, just go, America! Listen. I don't know one American who wouldn't be proud of you in that moment. Half of you would salute. Our country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land that slings the deep. I'm messing with you, but.
Ashkenazi, we name our children after someone who's dead and had the most horrible life in the world. This child is barely born and we've already assigned all of this baggage on him. That's my eldest son, Yaakov Yosef, named after my husband's great-grandfather, who was taken by the Russian army, imprisoned in Siberia, and tortured for 13 years. I'm like, oh my God! Give the kid a chance. That's my daughter Rifki, named after my aunt that died at the age of 9 from pneumonia. I'm like, what? You're killing her off at 9? Name your kids after someone who had a good life. Yes, that's my son, Hugh Hefner. Man lived 93 years with a smile on his face every day of his life in a place called the Playboy Mansion. Nachoni ben Chachuchi from the Warsaw Chachanuchi.
I can be polarizing, I can be divisive. That's not news to y'all. This is about to be the most divisive thing you've ever heard me say. And I know some of y'all are like, no, Trae, we're on your team. It's all right. Go ahead. Speak your truth. No, some of you about to feel betrayed by this. You are. But I have to be true to myself. I have to do it. So here it goes. I about had it with dog people and their bullshit. I think. Hey. It's bad. You hear that? You hear that response? Dude, I've had people get up and walk out right now. There's people in here sitting right now like, I thought I knew this motherfucker, you know? That's what happened, because the dog people are hardcore. That's my whole point, man. Dog people are like an authoritarian regime. You're either 100% with them, and they'll throw you out the fucking window, dude. They suffer no dissent. Because let me clarify, I don't have a problem with dogs. Dogs, the animals, should be treated with compassion and respect. Anybody that abuses a dog is a piece of shit, right? I'm in the ASPCA. That's why I'm not saying that. I don't have any problem with dogs. I just prefer cats, right? That's all it is. I just like cats. I like little kitty cats. Right? And dog people get weird about that. They do. Like, you ever had a hardcore dog lover ask you, oh, do you love dogs? You're like, oh, I'm kind of more of a cat person. You might as well be wearing a Michael Vick jersey, bro. They fucking, all the trust and joy drains out of their face. They're shielding their kids from it. Get away from him, right? They want nothing to do with you. They think that makes you a bad person automatically. If you like, y'all don't think there's any bad people that also love dogs? Statistically, they have to exist. Somewhere in the world, there's got to be a ruthless cartel drug lord who's utterly devoted to his 3 Doberman pinschers, right? And he feels the same way about them as you do little Buffy the Bichon Frise. He feels the same way. When those dogs tear a rival drug dealer limb from limb, spreading gore and viscera all over the room, when they do that, this guy's like, who's a good boy? The dog's sitting there with a severed hand in his mouth like, is it me? I hope it's me. Has to be a thing. Some of y'all don't buy that. Some of y'all think that's hypothetical. That's not hypothetical. That's historical. It is. You know who loved dogs? Hitler. So hey, if you don't believe me, ask Kanye. He'll tell you. He knows. It's true. It's true. Adored his German Shepherd. Still somehow not the best guy. I'm just saying, don't get me wrong, you should love your dog. Of course you should. I just feel like some dog people, they put dogs above anything and anybody else, including other people. It gets extreme sometimes. Like the other night, I was taking my trash out at my house. I'm walking down the driveway with my trash bins, and my Jeep is blocking the other end of the sidewalk. I get to the end of it. I almost bump into my neighbor who's walking his Great Dane. We didn't know each other were there. When this happens, the dog loses its shit like, and he's like struggling to hold it back. He's like, whoa, you startled him. I was like, oh, did I? Did I startle the baby? No, you're right. That's my fault. It's my fault. Should have got the express written permission of you and Scooby Doan over here before I walked down my own goddamn driveway. That's on me. No, you're right. You're right, dude. Dog people are hardcore, and I don't know. Sometimes I'll see a dog and he's wearing one of those little outfits where it looks like his head is on top of a tiny human body, so he's got little arms and legs flopping and stuff, and his tongue's out like. And I just see that and I'm like, have some fucking self-respect, man. What are you doing? You used to be a wolf, bro. Don't let them do that shit to you. Right, but dogs do whatever the fuck a human says gladly, right? But a cat, though, you go up to a cat and you're like, hey, so I was thinking if you wanted to roll over or play dead or do some kind of trick like that, you know, I'd give you one of these little fishy treats. And the cat's just like, oh yeah? You will, huh? Okay. Yeah. How about I show you my asshole, Gary? How's that for a trick? Would you like that? Who the fuck do you think you are? No, you know what? I got a better idea. How about this? How about you put some more food in my bowl and maybe I won't fuck your couch up tonight? How's that sound? Telling me to roll over this motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because of where I'm from. Like I said, rural Tennessee, the 90s. Back then, dogs didn't have the same cachet they have today. They did. I had dogs growing up. I had a bunch of dogs. Where that used to work was you'd have a dog, something horrific would befall that dog. Now it's time to get a new dog, which back then, getting a new dog consisted of getting in the truck and riding around until you saw a box of dogs in a dollar store parking lot or something. Now you got a new dog. It was a different world. It was a very different world. That sounds like a very dumb world, but sometimes I think that our current world today might be even dumber, you know, because we're living in a very dumb time and place. This country comes out with new dumb shit every other day. You can't even keep up with it all, right? Some people think that means we're getting dumber as a species, like we're de-evolving. And I don't know if I believe that, not because I think we're smart today. I just don't know if I think we're dumber than people used to be. Because do y'all know how dumb people used to be? A lot. They were a whole lot dumb, y'all. They were like, I know we had plenty of dumb shit when COVID came out. I know we did. But dude, if COVID had come out 250 years ago, people would have been running around like, he's got witches in his lungs. Quick, cast some ashes onto the nearest flame so that the evil spirits might not gain purchase. I don't think we're dumber than them. Which means we're not getting dumber overall, dude. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I wish we were. Sometimes I think it'd be great to be dumb. I do. You know why? Because dumb people are confident, man. They are. They are. Dumb people got it all figured out. And you're like, what do dumb people have figured out? Everything. Everything. You don't believe me? Ask the dumbest motherfucker you know. All right? Picture him in your head right now, the dumbest motherfucker you know. I guarantee you that sumbitch got it all figured out, dude. They all do. All of them. They don't have existential crises. They don't lie awake at night staring at the ceiling like, am I blaming the Jews enough? You know, like they don't do that. No doubt about it. They don't have doubt. Dumb people don't have doubt. Smart people are racked with doubt every day. Smart people are like, I think I'm going about this the right way, but what if I'm wrong though? What if there's information I don't yet have? What if there's factors I've not yet considered? What if I'm wrong about this? Dumb people are just like, life's a butthole, baby. Fuck it. And I'm jealous of that, man. I think most smart people are jealous of that if they're honest with themselves. Why do you think this shit's so popular with smart people? Drug and alcohol abuse is more prevalent statistically among the more intelligent members of society. Why do you think that is? Because this shit's just liquid stupidity and we're all chasing that dipshit dragon, baby. It's true. It's true. People call alcohol liquid courage. They try to act like it temporarily makes you confident. No, it temporarily makes you dumb, and confident is a side effect of dumb. That's how it works. And we all know, we've all experienced it. You go out one night, you're drinking, you're lighting the room up, you're the life of the party, you're killing it in your head. You go home, you wake up the next morning like, God, I'm such a fucking idiot. Why did I say all that dumb shit last night? What is wrong with me? Right, well, imagine you never had to wake up that way. You never had to feel that shame. That's what being dumb is, man. Every day's a fucking Kid Rock concert, dude. Just
I'm a big Dr. Phil guy. Dr. Phil, just such a, I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but the way he'll just chop you down and then throw it a commercial. Brilliant comedic timing. Just, hey, you are, I'll fucking, hey, shut your fucking mouth, you little twat. We'll be right back. And just every time, hilarious. I don't know what the episode was about, where that context was headed, but hey, Nathan, look at me right now. Look at me. I don't like your attitude. I don't like your energy, okay? You're 16. I don't know how you got out of bed. Okay, you're dressed like a goddamn WNBA ref, okay? You're on my stage right now. I don't like the way that your eyes are looking at I want to fucking hit you, dog, but I'm not gonna. Because you got secrets, okay, Nathan? And we got to get to rock top to figure out why you're at rock bottom. Because your heart's being driven into the ground. It's a depressive submarine, and you need help, okay? Give me one reason, Nathan, why you're not a loser, and I'll give you 10 reasons why everyone in your family wishes you were dead. We'll be right back. We'll see if we get Nathan to step back from that ledge, my friend. Third Eye Blind style. His teasers are unbelievable, though. Phil does not want you to change that channel. He'll do anything in his power. On today's show, you gotta stick around. My next guest has a UTI, but a PhD. Please say hello to Stephanie. Come on back. She's gonna bleed on a beanbag. My next guest has Down syndrome, but an upbeat attitude. Please say hello to Anthony. He's gonna come up here and do a Sudoku backwards. Dr. Pimple Popper. Another good one that makes you feel good. Again, we have these down days, these down weeks. Life gets fucking tricky, man. People don't talk about it enough, that just how much certain shows can just give you that mood boost that you're looking for. Could really turn the entire year around. Dr. Pimple Popper is a show where you're like, man, I needed this. I was having a weird off week. I missed my best bud's birthday. I was late on a cable payment. Then you turn on Pimple Popper and you're like, fucking, at least I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm not walking into her office like, hey, I got a foot on my shoulder. You got any cream for the shoulder foot, Dr. Pimple Popper? It's like, Jesus, Grover, how'd you escape Sesame Street? Got out of your contract? But you feel bad. You try to have some compassion. She does. That's what drew me into the show. Dr. Pimple Popper has an exuberant amount of empathy, and that's what really drew me in, right? She never wants to assume anything is more than what it is. Somebody will walk in, no joke, with like 2 4-pound nutsacks, spooning on the side of their chin. And she'll look right at him and go, so what brings you in here today? I bet it's not the fact that you're teabagging your own fucking face, is it? There's got to be a mole somewhere we can trim down, get those ears to line up. Planet Earth was my go-to COVID show. We all had that show during the pandemic that just helped us escape. And I travel all the time, so once that was sucked out of my routine, Planet Earth was this, saving grace of like, dude, look at all these beautiful places the country provides that I might not ever get to see live in the flesh again. And David Attenborough, to me, has the best pipes in the biz. This guy narrates the shit out of these amazing views. But even his commentary was getting too raw for my taste because the chaos that was happening outdoors was bleeding into his narration. He was not immune from what was happening. It was like, Tasmania is a world apart. And just like any other sanctuary this side of Australia, winter means a struggle for survival. As the snow wolf fights for food, the platypus finds shelter in a nearby cave, which provides the perfect place for him to kill himself in. Fuck, why would he do that, Dave? Because, Adam, COVID-19 is running rampant! Monkeypox is just around the bend. Debt is at an all-time high. Jobs are at an all-time low. And who knows if a vaccine will be here soon enough to save us? I myself am not vaccinated. I didn't get Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson. I went to Costco and got the Kirkland brand vaccine. I'm fine. I'm fine. If you did get the Johnson & Johnson, may God have mercy on your soul. That is a roll of the dice that nobody should. It's never a good sign days after you get injected with anything and the government comes out and they're like, you didn't take all of it, right? We still got some bubbles to work out, baby. If you don't want to go bungee jumping, hear the guy behind you at the edge of the cliff go, whoa, 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 don't go yet, it's not ready! I know some people are just like, I'm gonna smoke through it, man. I'm gonna smoke through COVID. Smoke all the weed. Yeah, I know. You get signs. You know, I like being a comedian smoking pot. People don't chastise you for that behavior. There are jobs where you get in trouble. Sha'Carri Richardson, the Olympic marathon runner, got kicked out of the summer games for smoking weed. They told her it's a performance-enhancing drug. You can't smoke pot, Sha'Carri. It's a performance-enhancing drug. No weed for you, Sha'Carri. It's a performance enhancer. I was like, okay, Olympic committee, who's never done drugs before? Do you not know how weed works? I've smoked a lot of pot in my day. I've never been so high that anyone in my life has ever been like, dude, Adam, slow down. Emotionally or physically. It's always like, hey man, you haven't blinked in an hour and a half. Should we take you to the hospital? You drove to 7-Eleven, got a Slurpee, forgot that you drove and walked home. I think it's time to hit the reset button, man. Price is Right. Probably my favorite game show of all time. To talk about daytime TV, yeah. Would love to host it, given the chance. People always ask comedians, what game show would you host? Price is Right. PIR, any day of the week. R.I.P. by the way to Bob Barker. What a legend, dude. What a just gangster. The GOAT. I'll be honest, I thought he died 15 years ago, but that's he was just living as a dead guy for like 20 years. But getting that old too, it's like fuck. That's why when you look at, you know, I mean, Harrison Ford's 81 and he's still doing Indiana Jones movies, which has got to be pissing Joe Biden off. Joe's 80. Joe's 80 and he's just like, I'd love to see you fight a flight of stairs at the mall, you cocksucker. God bless him, Joe. God, I think things took a turn when that 60-minute interview aired. They were like, Mr. President, wow, how's your focus? And he was like, never a good sign when you start nervously laughing before you respond to anything. He's like, my Focus, hey, I'll drive a Ford Focus. Is that what you want? I'll drive it right now. You want to go to Jumanji? I know the way. I know the leader. We'll take a right. We'll go left. We'll go up, down, A, B, select, start. Hey, it's your world. I'm just, hey, chicken or beef, fart or queef. Hey, I'll eat a spoon. I'll eat soup with a fork, but does that make me gay? It's like, Joe, that's not the question. Stay on track, baby. Every time he talks, I'm just like, come on, baby, sound it out. We got this. I'm on the other end of the TV, so supportive, right? When he's like, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, and I'll blow into the tube, hoping he'll go, thanks, Adam, and just, you know, take that boost into the next story. He shouldn't have been on that bike. I don't know why JoJo was on that bike. You're 80, baby. No one expects anything of you aerobically when you hit 80, right? I don't know who in Joe's camp was like, Mr. President, the American people don't want to hear about your views on healthcare. They want to see if you can ride a 15-speed Huffy through a dusty terrain. And Joe, God bless him, was like, no problem, I got it. Why you want it? Why you want it? Just fucking parkoured into the bushes in broad daylight and bled from the eardrums. He went full America's Funniest Home Videos. Why you want it? I was like, Joe, this footage should not exist unless you're trying to win $25,000 from Alfonso Ribeiro. Gotta Control Alt Delete this shit, man. Jill is standing by him, and I love that. She's like, whether he falls upstairs or down bikes, I'm right there with him. And she's, you know, doing what a first lady does. But at some point, you know, as every first lady has to do, it's a thankless job. You got to step up with your own campaign slogan, your own motto that really unifies the country. Every first lady's done it. Michelle Obama famously went hard in the paint with, they go low, we go high. And everybody was like, let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about, MB. Nice shoulders, by the way, right? Yeah. And then Melania Trump fired right back with, be best. And everybody was like, yeah! Wait, what? The fuck did you say? Be best, be better, try your best. I feel like we're missing some words, sweetheart. For sure Trump was standing in the wings staring her down like, look, you get 2 syllables a week and then back in the box, bitch. You've already said too much. Excuse me. Somebody grab a cookie by the pussy and give it to Barron. You know what to do. You see a pussy, you grab a pussy, excuse me. If you see a cookie, grab a pussy cookie. It's a chocolate chip pussy cookie. Excuse me, oatmeal raisin, gluten-free pussy cookie. Cookie pussy. You can grab a pussy cookie. Grab a cookie pussy. Oh my God, so funny when he said that. Some things are so bonkers. Like when I heard him go, you can grab him by the pussy, I just uncontrollably I was like, oh my God! Like no part of his mouth was like, no, wait, don't. He was just like, do what you gotta do, mouth. I trust you. Hey man, abhorrent, derogatory, misogynistic, however you took that, that's how you took that. How I took it, when Trump was like, you can grab him by the pussy, was, hey, has this guy ever hooked up with a woman before? For real, because his whole defense was, it's a locker room talk, baby, okay? Excuse me, you don't get it, okay? Because you're a tiny cock loser and you don't play sports, okay? But the real fellas, excuse me, we play sports. And we go to the locker room, the room with lockers, where we put our shoes, excuse me, and our gloves that we use to grab cookie pussies, excuse me. And you don't get it because you're a tiny cock loser, but we go to the room with lockers after sports and we talk about pussies and cookies. That's one version of how he sounds, for sure. That's how I hear it. I don't know how you hear it, but I heard that and I was like, yo, Don, I played all the sports, baby. I was in all the locker rooms. I never heard any guy go up to another guy and be like, yo, Cameron, you got a crush on Michelle? Here's what you do. You listen, don't even make eye contact. As soon as you see her, you grab that shit, dude. You grab a fistful, you grab it, you twist it, you bop it. You've seen the commercials, dog. You're quarterback now, Cameron. People, I don't know. Everyone's just trying their best. Lizzo was on top of the world, man. And fucking one weird move. Who knew that was, you know someone till you know them, truly. Lizzo, I was so pumped. She was just like, man, you could still have a fat ass and get on a trampoline. I forget what she said, but just the whole body positivity movement that she was pushing, I was a real big fan of. I thought it was awesome, because again, having weight issues growing up, I was like, this is really, people are too hard on themselves. I hate that. She truly was sticking up for people to be like, dude, just fucking don't be so hard on yourself. It sucks. Life is short. And I dug that, And I was pretty indifferent about her tunes. Catchy as all hell for sure. But, her videos would pop up in my IG feed and she was like, you want to see me get in a hot tub? And I was like, I got a couple hours to kill for sure, yeah. But then she just took a turn, man. I don't know if you guys know exactly what happened. My wife and I, we looked it up. We're like, what did Lizzo actually do? And so I pulled up the article. I took a little screenshot just to make sure I didn't misquote exactly what went down. So it said, it's claimed that Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers, catching dildos launched from the performers' vaginas, and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas during a visit to a strip club in Amsterdam. Yeah. I don't know if I should keep reading. You do know it is illegal to jack off in the showroom, right? That should be a rule of thumb in most public settings. I mean, I don't know what that was, but it didn't sound good. I mean, yeah, I mean, every young, isn't it so funny? Still, even at like 41, the guys don't have cool cum noises. My buddy's kid is addicted to porn, and he's like, dude, he's just addicted. I just can't get him off. I was like, how do you know he's addicted? He's like, because I hear him. I was like, that sucks. That noise, as you just showed us, sir, it's so, dude, it is every guy in their head when they're coming for the first time, they're like, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I'm coming out of my dick. I'm coming out of my dick. It's like this firework festival and parades. No, every dude when they come in sounds like you, bro. Just like going through a haunted mansion on a razor scooter. I mean, thank you for setting up that joke. I was not going to do that. Porn is so extensive too. God, I'm just like, butts, boobs, what do you got? Some people are like, I need like 15 storylines. I need plot. Stepmom fucks stepdad until stepson comes home early from Iraq. It's like, dude, that's too much. Yeah, man, Lizzo. Not cool. Somebody had to know, though. It's always somebody from the past that comes out of the woodworks when these things make national news. Get on any camera, any station, they're like, yeah, I knew. I knew. I went to elementary school, Lizzo, and... I know she was always pretty cool, but you could tell by the way she played kickball. I always played kickball with Lizzo. Every time I rolled the ball to her, she was just licking her lips like, I don't know if she thought it was because she thought it was a meatball or something. I just knew there was a look in her eyes like someday this bitch is gonna feed strangers pussy bananas. I could tell it. I could tell it right then and there. I could tell it. Strip club though, man. That's strippers in general. My wife was so cool about my bachelor party. She's like, do whatever you want. I really don't care. She's the fucking greatest. She was just like, she is so supportive of this world and job, and it's so crazy. This is her birthday weekend that we're doing the special on. She's like, fuck yeah, I'm all about it, right? And the bachelor party was cool. We went to AZ, got an Airbnb, had a pool, video game truck, a steel drum guy for some reason. My dwarf buddy was there for diversity purposes and pictures. Had booze, weed, basketball hoop, and my best friend was like, dude, we gotta get a stripper. And I was like, yeah, I think that part of my life is actually behind me. And then he threw me this emotional curveball. Oh, come on! And I was like, well, I didn't look at it from that angle. Let's do it. Yeah, that's a great point. Come on as a significant argument.
Man, I hate flying. They let you pick your seat on a plane. I think I'd rather pick the person I'm sitting next to. I don't really give a shit where I am on the plane. It's like a 5-hour relationship. Make it more like a dating app. Obese Nazi with a service dog? Swipe left. Tiny Asian lady with a surgical mask? That's my gal. Yes, she is not a talker, right? But just like a dating app, she shows up with a baby. I'm like, I got catfished. I had a chatty Uber driver last week. That's the worst, huh? This guy wouldn't shut up. I forgot that the no small talk option on the app, so I had to get creative. I had to scare the guy into being quiet. He's like, how about this traffic, huh? What do you think's causing this? I'm like, probably the Jews. He's like... One of my friends is like a beer expert. He's like, we gotta go to a brewery. I'm like, why can't we just go to a bar? He's like, it's fun. You can see how it's made. I don't care how it's made. Look, I like porn. I don't need to go to a broken home. Not saying all porn stars are in broken home, just the ones I like. Seems like a lot of people are quitting the booze now. It's kind of going away. All my friends are getting sober. And look, that's good, but some people are better when they're drinking. There's a lot of bad sobers out there, We always talk about the negative part about booze. What about the good? Like, sure, you drove through a playground, but you could dance, man. Come on. Yeah, it's got to be hard to be a kid now. I feel bad for kids. So much stimulus coming at kids. iPhone, internet, social media. Remember how happy-go-lucky we were as kids? Not a care in the world. Maybe run to the car. Shotgun. That was like the biggest problem in my life. Shotgun. Yeah, I never see kids doing that anymore. The only time a kid yells it out now is in a classroom. School shootings, what a bummer, huh? The great American pastime, yeah. School shootings are like the menstruation of America. Happens about once a month, it's bloody, and every kid goes, well, I guess it's my turn now. Oh, I know, they're bad. You guys ever get down on your knees and thank God you're not a pedophile? They didn't choose that. They got dealt a bad hand. We're extremely lucky. We should be grateful. Think about how close we all were. When I was in 3rd grade, I was attracted to 3rd grade girls. Now I like adult women. When I was in 3rd grade, I liked grape juice. Now I like red wine. But I still like grape juice. Holy hell, that was close. Thank God my brain just knew the right way to go. Woo! I just watched a documentary on pedophilia with my friend. My friend goes, oof, I could never have sex with a kid. They're so annoying. I was like, that's it, huh? That's the thing that's holding you back? You need a better reason than that, all right, buddy? It's like, hey, what happened to Greg? He went to prison. Why? He met a really cool kid. That checks out. One of my best friends is gay. He's obsessed with straight guys. That's like his thing, He's like, I love flipping a hetero. He's like, you know how hard that is? You know how hard it is to go out every night, see a bunch of people you want to have sex with who don't want to have sex with you? I was like, that's exactly what it's like being a straight guy. What the hell are you talking about? I would argue it's just hard for me to sleep with a woman is for you to flip a hetero. He was like, nah, you have no idea. You got to take him out for hours, convince him. Yeah, same here. He's like, no. Even if you do pull it off, which is like a miracle, they feel horrible after. Yeah, same thing. We went back and forth for hours, arguing about this all night, back and forth. Eventually, I woke up at his place. Also, you always see a group of girls with one gay guy in it. You never see a group of guys with one lesbian. I'd love to have a lesbian in my crew. That'd be fun. Because gay guys are very helpful. They help girls with their hair, their outfit. I'd love to have a lesbian help me out with stuff. Now you're like, crap, the car won't start. She's like, I got it. Yeah, you flooded it, you pussy. We're so obsessed with words now. It kind of shows how good we have it. We've got to focus on words, you know? Like, in the 70s, it was all about actions. Like, if you want to show you're brave in the 70s, you had to jump over 12 buses on a motorcycle. Now I see a guy make an off-color joke at the office. I'm like, that guy's fucking fearless. Holy shit. Wow. I told an abortion joke recently, and a woman approached me. She was like, hey, that's very insensitive. I've had an abortion. You shouldn't tell jokes like that. I was like, whoa, hey, sorry. I just told a joke. I think what you did was much worse. But, you know, either way, I'll see you at home later, honey. And again, all jokes. I love abortions. I paid for 2 last week. I'm a fan, right? You remember? Come on. It's all jokes. A friend of mine, she works at Planned Parenthood. She loves that joke. And I was like, I might have to get rid of it. People don't like it. She's like, no, you got to keep it. I was like, I might get rid of it. She's like, no, you got to keep it. I was like, I might get rid of it. She's like, no, you got to keep it. I was like, I might get rid of it. I was like, don't tell me what to do with my body of work. She's like, every joke's a miracle. Everybody's worked up about something. Oh, there's Muslims on airplanes. Well, I'd rather a Muslim on a plane than a baby. I've never had a Muslim kick the back of my seat and piss in the aisle. I'm just saying, if the airport had a baby ban, I wouldn't protest. Yeah, but transgender, they're using the bathrooms. Well, they're still using the toilet, right? They're not leaving a hot floater in the sink. If that was like their thing, then yeah, we should totally have a meeting. That's crazy, you know? Then you get the hillbilly guy. Well, what if one of these perverts puts on a dress and looks at my wife in the bathroom? Ooh, what a score. Some guy can see your toothless wife shitting? Yeah, what a lucky guy. Come on, go to work, you lunatic. I don't think all white people are scared of minorities. I do think a lot of white people are scared of looking racist. That's really the big fear with whitey. Like, if I'm walking down the street at 4 a.m, I see a sketchy-looking white guy coming towards me, I'm like, crap, I'm going to cross the street. If I'm walking down the street at 4 a.m, I see a sketchy-looking black guy coming towards me, I'm like, crap, I wish I could cross the street. Right? I'd rather get stabbed and look like an asshole. White people, we are so worried about looking ignorant and bigoted, I guess because of our history. Like, I went skiing recently with my friend. We're sitting on the ski lift. I was like, why don't you see more black people skiing? Why is that? My friend has no idea, but he's going to, half-ass his way through it because he doesn't want to seem dumb. So he's like, they don't grow up with it. Like, well, I'm from Louisiana. I'm here. Well, ski is very expensive. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, I've never seen a black guy with anything expensive on their feet. Just say you don't know. It's all right. You sound way worse. That's why black people are smarter. White people, we do crazy stuff. We swim with sharks. We go bungee jumping, cliff diving. Ask a black guy, why do they do that? They go, I don't know. That's white people shit. That's a good answer. Because I think generally speaking, when it comes to sex, I think men are a little more constant. Men like boobs, but we like boobs across the board. Boob in the bedroom, great. Boob on the bus, also great. Okay? Dick in the bedroom, great. Dick on the bus, call the police. Nobody's calling the police on a boob. You see a boob out in the wild, it's like seeing a deer. You're like, shh. It's majestic. Look, there's 2 now. Then your other friend walks up, hey, look at that, a boob. You're like, you spooked it. Come on. We're creepy as hell with dogs. And we sound like creeps. They like it. They're begging me for it. Yeah. Thank God dogs can't talk. We'd all go to jail, right? Just some chihuahua in a courtroom like, first he flipped me over. Then he caressed all 8 of my nipples. Then he slapped me on the ass repeatedly and said, you're a good girl, good girl. Oh, God. We harass dogs all day long, and they're perfect harassers. They can't talk, so they'll never report you. That's why they're man's best friend. Also, dogs forget stuff after like 2 seconds. You could stick your finger up a dog's ass and be like, well, that was weird. Frisbee! Because really, when you break down our relationship with dogs are shameless whores, aren't they? I mean, they're like gold diggers. Look at the deal we've cut with a dog. Like, all right, Pooch, I will house you and feed you, but I get to touch you whenever I want. Dog's like, what are you kidding? That's fucking amazing. I'll do you one better. When you come home, I'll hump your leg. I'll lick my balls in front of you. And when you have sex, I'll watch. That's fair. And cats are the exact opposite. Cats are like sexual assault victims. They're all nervous, skittish, head on a swivel. Huh? You touch me, I'll fucking cut you. I'll cut you, motherfucker. Yeah, you're not grabbing this pussy, all right? Yeah. Now leave me alone. I gotta look out a window for an hour. One time, me and my girl were watching the news. There was a whole thing about a CEO harassing his employees. She's like, can you believe this creep? Grabbing women's asses, whispering dirty stuff in their ear at work. I was like, yeah, it's crazy. Then we got home later in the bedroom. She's like, can you do that stuff from the news to me? I was like, I thought you hated that. She's like, I hate it. He does it. If you do it, it's hot. Huh. So you hate harassment unless you like the guy, then it turns you on. That's fascinating. I don't think other groups like black guys get harassed by the cops, but at night they're not like, come on, pull me over. Yeah. Yeah, tase me, bitch. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, my gal, she likes being insulted in the bedroom, which is cool, but nobody tells her that not all insults are sexy. Had to learn that the hard way. Yeah, we'd be having sex. I'm like, yeah, you whore. She's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you slut. She's like, yeah. I'm like, you're a bad driver. She's like, what? I'm like, that's the one that bothered you? Weird. She's like, you really think I'm a bad driver? I'm like, sorry, you dirty skank. She's like, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I'll try to hook up, and she's like, I can't have sex and I don't feel sexy. I can't have sex if I don't feel sexy. Wow, if that was the case for me, I'd still be a virgin. I've never felt sexy my entire life. The whole concept of sexy is very arbitrary. You know, your girl comes in, I'm wearing my sexy leopard print underwear. Well, when did we decide leopard was the sexiest animal print? I don't know, nothing says sexy underwear to me like yellow and brown spots. In that case, I'm wearing my sexy underwear. It's a rare jungle cat called the skid mark. I like babies. Babies are fun. You know why babies are great? Because they're not evil yet. There's a million douchebags out there, but you never assume that baby will become one. Isn't that nice? That's why no one ever goes up to a pregnant woman, rubs her belly, and goes, ooh, this one's gonna suck. No, it's all up. It's all potential. It's all positive. Oh, it's kicking. Might be a pro soccer player. Right? It's never like, oh, it's kicking. Might hit his wife. Statistically, way more likely than a pro soccer player, right? Plus, it's already hitting a woman. Not even out yet. Yeah. I don't know. I got to figure something out. Being in a relationship is always tough, you know. I've always had people say weird stuff to me like, Mark, you're a comedian. Must be a great boyfriend. Why do you say that? Well, women love funny guys. All right, well, you're taking the one singular positive aspect. If you do it with any guy, they could seem like a great boyfriend. Serial killer. Take out the killing. This guy's organized and cleans up after himself. Terrorist. Take out the terrorized. This guy's passionate, loves to travel. Child molester. Take out the molesting. This guy's got a van and can't wait to start a family. I remember I had a one-night stand once. Went great, fun night, hanging out. But during the sex, she did a new one I'd never seen before. She acted like a 4-year-old. You ever come across this? We'd be having sex. I don't know where she'd be like, you know, if you want to, you can pull my hair. I was like, all right. Then we keep going, you know, if you want to, you can slap my ass. I was like, you got it. Then we keep going, you know, if you want to, you can choke me. I was like, I do. Well, and we finished. We had a great night. We're laying there, and I was like, you know, if you want to, you can leave. She didn't care for that one. I thought the timing was perfect, you know. A lot of girls get mad about the whole leaving thing, but it's nothing personal against you, lady. I'm just a weirdo. I'm in my head. I'm a nut. I'm an introvert. I got to get out of there. A lot of girls get mad like, what, do you just bang me and leave? Well, yeah, this was a long night. I've been trying to win you over like 9 hours. I'm exhausted. There were 5 guys at the bar hitting on you. I'd outcharm them, be more interesting, be conversational, be funny, be on all night. She was like, what? You could have just been yourself. I'm like, what are you, fucking stupid? Be myself? What? I'm an idiot. If I was myself, I'd be like, hey, you fat whore, let's fuck. That's not gonna work. But look, I get it. You know, it's got to be tough to be a lady. I feel like women are getting screwed in the orgasm department. I feel like men are having way more orgasms than women, and that sucks. People talk about the wage gap. The orgasm gap is out of control. You gals are getting 77 cents to the boner. Like, if a woman had to have an orgasm to get pregnant, they'd be like, 2 people here. And you get nothing for your orgasm, ladies. Like if a guy has an orgasm, go and get pregnant. Carry a baby for 9 months. Deliver the baby, then breastfeed the baby. And all the guy had to do is this. Okay. And he tried really hard not to do that. It's a horrible setup for the woman. The guy has all the fun, the girl has all the work. That'd be like if I ate a whole chocolate cake and the girl gained weight, then she went to the gym and I got buff. Gotta be tough. Plus, women, constantly judged by your looks. That's gotta be exhausting. Constantly judged by your looks. But you all know how to look good, you all look great. That's how women figured out to take the selfie up here. That was all you ladies. You know where your good sight lines are. I think that's why women like tall guys. Just some guy looking at you from your best angle 100% of the time, all day long. That's why you don't hook up with short guys. Just some guy like, geez, look at the triple chin on this broad. Holy hell.
Years before that, years and years before that, whilst I was still an active bedwetter, on November 17th, 1991. I know that day, I remember it because it was the day after my 13th birthday, and I was in a bad place because I was still pissing a bed. When you're still bedwetting at 13, it's an issue. And my uncle, he did what uncles do, which is where they think your parents can't get the job done, so they take a crack at it. He sat me down, and he did the whole thing. He was like, look at me, boy. Look at me when I'm talking to you, boy. Look at me, boy. Piss in the bed like you do? You know who else does that? Serial killers. Told me that at 13. Like that is what was gonna wake me up from a bedwetting nightmare. And I'd go take a piss in the toilet of maturity. I was like, that's a lot to tell a 13-year-old. Then if you didn't know that, yes, a trait that a lot of serial killers share is wetting the bed into their adult years. It's also a trait that people with perfect pitch share, so take it as you will. But that fucked with me. That information was too much for my young mind, and thus my first OCD tic was born. Every time I pissed the bed from then on out, the entire next day, I had to avoid eye contact with anyone or they would be murdered. And depending on what year we're talking about, that was anywhere from 1 to 8 days a week, you understand? I spent a lot of time alone looking at the ground back then. And yes, I suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder. A lot of people are under the impression that these past 2 years have been like a dream come true for those of us with OCD because we get to wash our hands a lot. Do you think we like washing our hands? Is that what you think? Do you think people like succumbing to their mental illness? Is that what you think? Do you think schizophrenics are like, oh boy, the voices are back. Can't wait to hear what they're up to. Can't wait to hear what they got planned for me. I think people project their weak bullshit onto the mentally ill because they're afraid to admit that they're mentally ill themselves. We're all fucking mentally ill. That should be the norm. There's no such thing as mentally healthy. Like, seriously, we are all mentally under the weather at best. And that's what makes us interesting. Like, yes, OCD is complex, very much so. Do I wash my hands a lot? Of course I do. But not for the reasons you think. I don't give a fuck about germs. I wish I was afraid of germs. No. Do I care about 90-degree angles and things being put away properly? Fuck no. Do I have to hang up all the clothes in my closet in a color-coordinated fashion? I barely even hang them up half the time. Can my food touch? Obviously. Obviously my food can touch. None of the OCD tropes apply to me. However, do I feel like in a past life I borrowed money from God and never paid God back? So in this life, God taxes me in the form of daily rituals I have to perform, and if I don't, God goes after my loved ones like a mafia boss would? Yes! That's what it feels like. Like there's a God in a heaven talking to his angels who are like his fucking capos and shit. Like, hey, did Sean Patton remember to microwave absolutely nothing for exactly 33 seconds last night? The fuck you mean no? He's got to do that every Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. on the dot. He didn't do it. Okay. Well, then I guess he don't like having a cancer-free family then, does he? Do it. His Uncle Billy, both lungs. What are we, all cousins here? You guys got real weird on that one. Oh my God, is that what happened, Uncle Billy? I thought it was the 30-some odd years of unfiltered Lucky Strikes. It was. That was the message. Sometimes God works in very obvious ways. Like, this is why I have a beef with superstitious people, because you know those aren't real. You know those are OCD light at best. Diet OCD. I mean, superstitions were definitely started by someone with OCD. That's a fact. That's a fact. There's a dialect of Spanish, Castilian, right? Where they make a sound that sounds like a lisp. But do you know where that came from? It's a Spanish king hundreds of years ago who himself had a lisp and was so insecure about it that he made it the high-born way to speak. And the entire country followed suit, and now it's built into the enunciation. Or so that be the scuttlebutt. Now, the same thing happened with superstitions, I guarantee it. There was a powerful king who himself had OCD and wanted everyone to have to deal with the shit he dealt with. So one day was like, "It is my decree that if thou see a tabby cat in thy path, one must turn the other way and walk away or face tidings of ill doing. Make it law." Your Majesty, we can never enforce such a ridiculous law. Off with your head! Do it in one stroke or three, but neither two nor four. And thus, superstitions were born. They don't have any stakes involved. Superstitions are about avoiding bad luck, saving yourself, something you can't do. Like, we can contrast and compare all day. If you're superstitious, you wouldn't want to walk under a ladder because that'll bring you bad luck. What does that even mean? That's life. And what are you so afraid of bad luck for? Bad luck brought us the blues. Everybody loves the fucking blues. Growing up with OCD, every time I made a sandwich, which was a lot, I had to kiss all four corners before I bit into it so that my grandfather would never die in a boating accident. You understand? And it worked. He's been dead for a quarter century, but it happened on dry fucking land. If you're superstitious, you wouldn't want to break a mirror because that'll bring you 7 years of bad luck. 7 years of bad luck? It sounds like the premise of a CBS sitcom that's only going to last 2 seasons anyway. So what are you afraid of? As a teenager, every Wednesday, I had to wear my shoes on the opposite feet until someone noticed. And then when they noticed, I would then have to pretend like I just noticed. Because that was the only thing that stopped the HIV virus from going airborne, okay? You're welcome. I'm sorry COVID slipped through the cracks, but that clearly wasn't my assignment. It was airborne already. I was focused on blood-based viruses. Do you see? OCD is about saving lives. But there is one superstition I respect, and only one, okay? Step on a crack, break your mother's back. That one is proof that life is pure chaos. You never know. You're walking down the street one day like you do every day, you step on a crack, not even thinking about it. But in that crack was a little baby cockroach that went scurrying down the block past the child. That child saw it and screamed loud enough to distract a cyclist who blew through a traffic light and got plowed by a dump truck. And then that dump truck got plowed by a cement truck. And then that cement truck, dump truck, bike rider got plowed by a postal van. Now, you've got the largest all-municipal vehicle accident since Jacksonville '76, right? This causes a traffic jam, hours. Cars are just sitting there idling, their engines pumping more and more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, strengthening the effects of climate change, yielding more and more psychotic, unpredictable weather patterns, like a late season nor'easter that unleashes a 50-mile-an-hour gale of wind with no conscience that crosses paths with your mother while she's doing some roofing repairs. She'd never see it coming because it's wind. But her spine shatters in 3 places upon impact right there in the damn driveway. You broke your mother's back. Poetically enough, her name was probably also Gail. Chaos! Now, listen, I didn't invite you out to frighten you. And I can tell I've done that. So, hear my words. There are others like me, and we're out there doing what we can to protect us all. You understand? I'm a grown man, and still to this day, I have to touch my asshole twice a day, every day. Independent asshole touchings, not while showering and not while toileteering. Those don't count. Independent asshole touchings. It's quick and clean. Hand in the pants, pop right on the button, get it right out of there. You'd never know I was doing it. You would never know. I would demonstrate for you, but I've already done it twice today. I have no clue what happens if I go for it a third time. I don't want to risk it. And I know the question that's now burning in your minds. Why? Sean, why? Why must you touch your asshole twice a day? And not while showering nor toileteering. Why? Well, that's a very good question, but it's the wrong question. The right question would be, Sean, why hasn't there been a successful presidential assassination in your lifetime? Well, if you look at the word assassination, spell it out. A-S-S-A-S-S-I-N-A-T-I-O-N. Now, apply an OCD lens to that. It breaks it up into 4 words. I-Nation. I-Nation. That's how a leader should think. I am responsible for nation. I serve nation. But I'm no leader, so there's nothing I can do about that. However, ass, got that covered all day. I can serve my ass. I can be responsible for that. So as long as I touch my ass, the leader can continue serving the nation. Do you see? As I said before, I wash my hands a lot too, but it has nothing to do with germs and everything to do with national fucking security. Oh yeah, weed, and that's why I can't smoke weed. I got sidetracked there. I want to smoke weed, I keep fucking trying. Weed is like steroids for intrusive thought, you understand? The right amount under the right supervision's fine, but what's the right amount? What's the right supervision, okay? Nobody I know personally, that's a fact. I'll take it. I'll smoke weed sometimes and my thoughts are great. They're intrusive, but they knock at least. You understand? There I am, just like, hey man, just because I enjoy performing cunnilingus does not mean I have cannibalism in my DNA. No way, man, that's just a metaphor, right? Eating pussy, you're not literally devouring labia. It's just a metaphor. I love metaphors. Who doesn't love metaphors? Metaphors are fantastic. One time I metaphored. They were great. She was cool as shit. Damn right she was. I'm probably a 4. I should have said, hey, fellow 4, together we can make an 8. Oh, that's sexy. I'm glad I'm a Scorpio. Wow, look at this cat. I want to pet this cat, but what if it scratches me? I've been through worse adversity, me. I gotta live my life. I gotta live. Fuck it, let's do it. Here we are. Listen to this cat purr. It's awesome. Sounds like it's beatboxing. I should drop some rhymes, be a cat rapper. Oh yeah, this is the only pussy I'll ever need. Fun thoughts. However, Then comes the moment when I look up and see a stranger across the street that resembles Jeffrey Dahmer. And that's all it takes. The reminder that evil exists, and my thoughts go dark. Like, I hope I don't put this cat in the microwave, but what if I'm a serial killer? Why would I be a serial killer? I mean, I guess I did piss my bed till I was 31. Jesus, I hope I don't throw my brother out the window. But what if I show my dick to my dad? Why would I show my dad my dick? Because I'm gonna be the first son to molest his father? Oh my God, I hope not. I know I'm gonna see grandma tomorrow. I sure hope I don't grab her tits. But what if I grab her tits? But I would never grab her tits. But maybe I will, right there at the wake, in front of everyone. Just grab her big old dead titties, and everyone would just assume I'm grieving. Like, that boy sure loves his Meemaw, but I would never grab Meemaw's tits. Maybe that's why she died. I didn't love her enough. But all this would look like to you is this.